All right, fourth graders, today we are going to be working on exercises 39 and 40. Now in this first little video, I am just going to show you kind of an introduction that will really help you with exercise 39. So once you listen to this video, you should be able to figure out 39 pretty well. So let's just go from there and see how I feel, okay? So here we've got a girl named Ellie. Ellie bought 5 boxes of cookies for $8. How much did 2 boxes cost? Okay, so the first thing we do, we have to figure out if we have a comparison bar model or if we have a whole whole bar model. Okay, now are we comparing 2 numbers right here? There's a lot of numbers it gave us, but we're not comparing 2 numbers right now, okay? So let's go on to the next one. We are given, okay, so we know that we have 5 boxes of cookies. Those are 5 equal parts. So we have 5 equal parts. We're going to assume all of the boxes are the same and that they all cost the same. So we have 5 equal parts, and those are parts of a whole. So we're going to use the part-whole bar model for this problem. So let's go ahead and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we've got 1 box of cookie. That's our unit, is 1 box of cookies. And then we've got another box. In another box, notice I'm drawing them all. I'm trying to draw them all the same because we know each of these boxes are the same. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes of cookies. Each of those boxes are the same. And all together, I'm going to put it down here. All together, these boxes cost $8. Okay, we want to know, well, that's weird. We want to know how much 2 boxes cost. But before we can figure out that 2, how about we just figure out what 1 box costs? I'd be happy with that right now because then it's probably pretty easy to figure out too. So let's start with this right here. This right here is our question mark. That's what we're trying to find. Now what I would suggest, I should have mentioned this before, what I would suggest is you having a scratch piece of paper and writing this down. Remember, the more times you write it down and really try to follow along, the easier these problems will come to you, and they will get easier. Just takes practice. Okay, so if you need to pause me and go get a scratch piece of paper, that'd be great. And then meet me back here. Okay, so now we've done problems like these before. We've got our part, and then we've got our whole, okay? 5 boxes of cookies cost $8 all together. So I want to find out how much 1 box costs. Well, guess what? All I need to do for that is say $8 divided by, I'm going to move this little guy up, divided by 5. And then I will find out how much 1 box costs, what my unit costs, okay? So I'm going to put my dollar sign right up above here. So first thing I do for these dollar problems, and then the second thing I do, of course, is put my little decimal point right above where it's at. 5 goes into 8, how many times? Just 1 time. Now I multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. I just multiplied, now I subtract. 8 minus 5 is 3. I have a number to bring down. I'm going to bring down my 0. 5 goes into 30. How many times? 6 times. All right, now I'm going to multiply. 6 times 5 is 30. Now it's time to subtract. And I get 0. I still have this number here to bring down. Okay, and that's a 0 also. So 5 goes into 0. How many times? 0. All right, and then 0 times 5 is 0. I am left with a 0 at the end, okay? And I knew that I needed, some of you I bet are asking, Mrs. Wordwine, why do you have 2 zeros there? That's a 0. You really didn't need to bring down a 0 there because we already had a 0 here. Well, I'll tell you why. We were dealing with money. With money, when we're dealing with dollars and cents, when you have cents, you don't show it 1.6. You just don't do that, okay? You show it $1.60. Okay, so you always have, when you're dealing with money, you always have 2 decimal places because those are your cents. Okay, so now we have figured out that each of these boxes is worth $1.60. Okay, so I'm just going to put him up here. $1, I know it's a little small, sorry. But if you wanted to, you could put 1.60. Yeah, you can put your little dollar sign in there too if you'd like. You can put it in each box just so that you can kind of keep track of what you're doing. It's not necessary, but sometimes it helps in the beginning. Let's go back to our question because remember in my class, we always talk that we want to make sure we read our question at least twice. Okay, so you're going to want to usually read it 2 times before you even start. We only read it once. Let's go ahead and read it one more time now. Ellie bought 5 boxes of cookies for $8. How much did 2 boxes cost? Okay, this $1.60 is just for 1 box. I want to know how much 1, 2 cost altogether. So for that, I could do 2 different things, right? I could add $1.60 plus $1.60, or I could multiply. And just for fun, let's multiply because we need to know how to multiply our fractions our decimals for our little test. Okay, so we have $1.60 times 2 boxes. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 6 is 12. Carry the 1. Put the 2 down there. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 1, 3. Notice, I did not immediately bring my decimal point down. Why? Because we are not dividing. So when I divide, I immediately put my decimal point, boom, right above. When we multiply decimals, we don't do it automatically. We have to wait till we get the answer at the end and count the number of decimal places. How many decimal places do I have altogether in my problem? Well, I have 1 decimal place, 2 decimal places, and then I don't have any decimal places down here in this number, so I just have 2 decimal places. 1, 2. Don't forget your dollar sign, okay? So how much did 2 boxes cost? Don't forget also, you always want to be polite and answer the sentence, all right? So 2 boxes cost $3.20. And that one's done. Okay, so you will see problems just like this on exercise 39. What's nice about exercise 39 is they already gave you the bar model too, so you can see exactly how they did that. So exercise 39, it looks like number 1 and number 2 are very similar. Yep, very similar to this one. Okay, but I want to show you one other kind, because this is the other kind that you might see. You will see it in your homework, and who knows, you might see it on your test. So this was a part whole. I was looking for a part of my whole, okay? Now I'm going to show you a comparison. And this one's kind of fun, but you know me, I kind of like the weird stuff sometimes. Okay, I'm going to write it up here so you can see it and you can start to read it and understand what they're talking about. So Taylor, and by the way, this is for Mrs. Hoffman's class. This is in your math textbook. Okay, we're on page 60. So Taylor had $5.40. Taylor has 3 times as much money, has 3 times as much money. I'm just going to put a dollar sign for money right now to save time, as Bonita. Okay. How much more money does Taylor have than Bonita? Right now, I'm just going to say how much more money, dollar sign, does Taylor have? And you know that the rest of it was, does Taylor have than Bonita? Okay? Right now, when you see this, how much more, you know right away that we're comparing something. We're comparing something. Yeah, look at this. We've got 2 girls. They each have a certain amount of money. Guess what? This is a comparison model. So it's a little bit different than the one we just did. It is not part whole. Okay, so we've got Taylor and Bonita. Okay, we're going to compare the money that these girls have. Let's read it one more time, at least one more time. Taylor had $5.40. She has 3 times as much as Bonita, as much money as Bonita. How much does Taylor have? My friends, when you see 3 times as much, you pretty much know that you're going to have a unit and you're going to draw that unit, which is your box, 3 times. Usually, especially for your problems, and especially in this test, that's going to be the case. So if you see anything that says she has 3 times as much, on exercise 39 it says 5 times as much for number 3. So guess what you're going to draw? 5 boxes. This time you're just drawing 3 because we have 3 times as much. Now, is it Taylor that has 3 times as much, or is it Bonita? Well, it's Taylor. Taylor, has 3 times as much as Bonita. So Bonita has 1 times the amount, okay? She has 1 unit. Taylor has 3 times as much. She has 1, 2, 3 times as much as Bonita. Let's see what else we have. You can see how many times I'm reading this problem just to make sure I understand it. Let's see what else can we add to our comparison right here. Taylor had $5.40. Okay, so all together, Taylor has $5.40. And she has 3 times as much as Bonita. Bonita has 1 unit, Taylor has 3. Now we're ready to start this problem. We want to know how much more money does Taylor have? Okay, here we go, ready? So now this looks like the problem we just did before. We had some parts, a part of our whole. Our whole is $5.40 for Taylor. And how many parts does she have? Well, she has 3 parts. She has 3 times as much. Okay, so we know, remember what we did in the last one, we took we took $8 divided by 5. Now we're going to take $5.40 and divide by 3 because we have 3 boxes. I'm probably going to run out of room. Let's see what happens. Okay, so first thing we do, dollar sign. Next thing, decimal point. Now we're ready to begin. 3 goes into 5 how many times? Once. 3 times 1 is 3. Subtract 5 minus 3 is 2. Bring down the 4. 3 goes into 24 8 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract. 24 minus 24 is 0. I have another number to bring down. It's also 0. Remember, I have to bring it down still because it's part of my cents. Okay, my cents and my money. Okay, so 3 goes into 0 0 times. 3 times 0 is 0. And I'm left with 0 at the end. That means I am done. Done with this problem. Look what I have. This tells me that each box is worth $1.80. When you have a comparison model, all of the boxes are the same if you set it up correctly. Okay, so that means Bonita's box is the same as each of Taylor's boxes. Okay, Taylor had 3 times as much as Bonita. Okay, let's go back. Read it again. Okay, we just talked about Taylor having 3 times as much as Bonita. Let's see, what else do we need for this problem? How much more money does Taylor have than Bonita? Okay, now we know what Bonita has. We figured out that each of our boxes is worth $1.80. So we know that Bonita has $1.80. We know that Taylor started off with or has $5.40. We want to find, once again, when you see this more right here, that tells you a lot. Not only does it tell you comparison, a lot of times it'll be a comparison model, it also tells you you might need to subtract. Okay, you might need, and sure enough, we do need to subtract in this problem. So we have $5.40, which is what Taylor has, minus what Bonita has, which is $1.80. Subtract. I cannot do 4 minus 8. Borrow. Now I can do 14 minus 8, that's 6. Now look at this. I should have brought down my decimal point right away, shouldn't I have? There we go. I just did it now. 4 minus 1 is 3. Because remember, when we subtract, we do not count the decimal places. We just bring it straight down. When we add, we line up the decimal places and bring it straight down. Only when we multiply do we, my multiplication's gone, only when we multiply do we count the number of decimal places, and then that tells us where our decimal point goes in the answer. All right, so $5.40 minus $1.80 is $3.60. Taylor had, I need a bigger board. Taylor had $3.60 more than Bonita. Okay, so this is the other kind of bar model problem that you will see. Yes, I'm just looking at number 3 on page 39. I will have another video going over more of these. If you're feeling pretty strong on this already, you might want to go ahead and try exercise 39 and 40, and then just come back to my additional videos just to make sure you got the right answer. All right, and if you got the right answer, you may not have to watch the entire video, but this video here was really important to just start you guys off. All right, let me know. Go ahead and chat with me if you have any more questions, and we'll be talking soon. Thank you. Bye.